on the sofa.
Yeah, we'll do it casual.
Pause.
What, the casting couch?
Eh?
The casting couch?
Pause. I got asked. Fucking wild one.
God.
Naked Love Island, didn't it? But I'm never doing that to my family. No way.
No, you can't do that.
No way.
You can't do that. I think we're on a rolling start.
Yeah.
Double English champion, Linus Udofia, the Lightning one. Thank you so much for doing this. It's lovely to actually get you in person. And it's been too long, and I'm like truly appreciate the time. I know that this is super cash compared to what we normally do with like the studio setup and stuff. But this is how we do it, you know. People, they like to go down like the making a fake TV studio. I'm more about the meditating gorilla, masks, just chill vibes, you know.
Yeah.
So talk to me. How do you feel now as a double champ?
I feel.
Is it everything you thought it would be?
Yeah, of course. It's what I envisaged. I've been here before.
Yeah.
In the first time beating Tyler Denny. I've been here before. Now Dan Catlin, and I'm just. This is what I envisaged. I knew I'd get here, and I knew this was going to be not only a massive moment, making a little bit of history, and also moving on to see what opportunities open up after this, because this was what it was about. I didn't have anything for anyone to fight me for, so now I do. So,
Fact.
Yeah, this was always the plan. And I feel exactly where I need to be. I feel great back in the gym. And, I just feel really good.
That 10K time was a bit sour, though, you put on Insta. A lot of people gave you a little bit of abuse. Now for me, I'm not doing 10K.
Yeah, I got cooked. I got cooked online. I'm not even sure what people wanted. I think 47 minutes weren't a bad time.
47 ain't bad. Let's see them do it.
Yeah.
That's all we can say. Spin it back. 47 minutes ain't bad.
My reset, my fail safe is always, I'm a boxer, not a runner, so it's fine. It's fine.
100%. So you said Tyler there, right? In his defence, obviously Hamzah didn't go well for him, right? So he's going to be on the rebuild now. You've already got the W over him already. You up for doing it again?
Oh, 100%. I've been calling this fight for a long time. I've been calling this fight since he beat Brad.
Yeah.
And I've been calling this fight for a long time. Obviously, I understand that. Denny's a fighting man.
He really is.
He's a fighting man like me. He'll fight. He's shown in his career he'll fight absolutely any and everybody. And it's just one of those, I can call it, but that's not how it works sometimes.
No.
I'll see what his team and his lot want to do. I just want to see what opportunities open up and then go from there. I want to be in good fights. I want to be in big fights. I don't want to waste. I think I'm a good fighter. I think I'm.
You're a great fighter.
I think I'm a.
You're one of those ones as a fan that you're a handful. On your night, you're like fucking nightmare. But now you've got the English title again. There is something that they say, I want that. Where before they would just be like, oh, that's a rough night's work. That's a rough fight. Like for on a UK level, on a domestic level, they're just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna try and go and get someone else an easier fight. Like it's not an easy fight, but now you've got that. You've got something they want. They're always gonna be going for it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And this is just the point of that fight. Just to get back to kind of give people not only something to I can walk up to certain promoters and go, look, this is what I'm bringing to the table. Can we get a fight on with this and this and this? And management can do that now. But before it was just going to the table with nothing, and it's like, well, why are we going to put you against anyone that we have? What do you have? You know what I mean?
It's true.
Obviously, it's in a perfect world. Things might not even work out this way, but it gives me a better opportunity to get these big fights on. And like I was saying, I think I'm a good fighter, and with all the fights happening now, I want to be part of it. I think I can really make something happen. You know what I mean? I'm only 31. Still got a few years, and I want to get in. I want to be in these big fights. I'm just sick of sitting in this conversation and everyone's like just mentioning all these names: Brad, Heaney, Denzel, Denny, Sheeraz, and
Junior,
Eubank, and you know what I mean. And my name never comes up, and I'm like, not like I deserve anything, but this is I want my name in that conversation, so I want to be having these fights to prove I can.
That's a product of the promoter that you're with, though, right? That's the product of we've seen you on Sky, we've seen you on DAZN, we've seen you on Queensbury, we've seen you on Channel 5 on Wasserman. Channel 5 on Wasserman's huge numbers, right? That in itself shows your market value, and obviously you need a good dance partner for that, etc. That's why I think maybe the Denny fight is a good one, because again, Tyler genuinely one of the nicest people
Yeah. No, I back
on the planet.
Yeah, I back
like
that.
genuinely
I second that,
a
yeah.
lovely person.
Very sound guy.
He got destroyed by Hamzah. Don't worry about it. He got destroyed by Hamzah, and he's gonna need someone because his profile. He kind of took the L and then somehow bosh, didn't he?
Not somehow. No. I think
Well, no. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
It was right
steady.
time, right opportunity,
Yeah,
and he kept with it.
What did he do? He so after me, he fought River with Ben. I think he fought him twice. That really put his stock up. He fought Brad Rear.
Yep.
After that, stock up again. Then he fought Brad.
Yep.
After that, and then he just kept
going. And
you know what I mean? I think out of everybody in the division, he's had it. You know what I mean? Not even the division, in boxing, he's had it the hardest route because he's really had to prove himself, and look where he is. You know what I mean? Whatever, he's lost to Hamzah Sheeraz isn't the worst thing in the world because Hamzah Sheeraz is a bit of an animal.
He's a monster.
So yeah, I don't even look at that fight. I think
does he make weight? Like
he won't be in a couple of years. He'll be super middle or light heavy or something.
Like I tell you what was one of my favourite moments before we even hit record. We was with Dens when the text that Tyler was going to fight for the European title. He was livid. He was livid. Like, he was just like, I've been trying to get that for a while. Like, what is going on? He was pissed. Bless him.
Yeah, no, it's look, again, he's like all of us. He just wants to be in the division. He just wants to be one of the names in the division, or the best in the division. Like, you know what I mean? That's what we all want.
Yeah.
That's what we all want. I just want the opportunity to prove I am.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want. I want to be in good fights. I don't care about a loss. I don't give a fuck about that.
You're very rarely in a bad fight anyway.
No. I just want to be in more of them.
Yeah.
I want to be in more of them. That's all I want. I just want to be in more of them.
It's just a matter of, I mean, maybe you need to start talking all of the shit on Insta. Maybe I know it's not your vibe. It's
done
not
that.
your...
No, not saying I've done that. Nothing really happens. You kind of go have a back and forth and nothing happens from it. Do you know what I mean? Nothing happens from it, you know what I mean? Especially, like, again, now I've got something to kind of back myself up with, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought something might have happened with Troy Williamson.
Yeah.
Nothing. Shaq Thompson, sorry.
You and Troy is a great fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, great fight.
That's a great
loads,
fight.
There's loads.
Yeah, but that's a particularly good one. But I don't know what's going on with Troy at the minute. I know he's up at middle now. I think he needs to put on a bit of size, and I think he needs to get used to middle for him to be like campaigning up there, because I don't know. He's he didn't look great when he fought at middle last time, did he?
I don't remember who he fought at middle.
Yeah, it wasn't his best showing. Like, because Troy's an animal. When you get him going, like, and yeah, it is what it is.
Not in a bad fight. Never in a bad fight.
He's super good with it. And like, from your perspective, I know you've always, I mean, to be fair, from day one when we've had you on, it's always been like, I'll literally fight anyone. I'll take it, whatever. Right? If you could lay out what you want going forward, like in an ideal, because I know it's hard to say because you're just like, all right, I'll have any of them. But if there was like the three that you wanted to do, like, would you want to have another go at Conway? Because Kieran's a cool guy. That was the best Kieran has ever looked, and you got hit with a right shot, right place, right whatever, right reaction, right? It is what it is. It's combat sports. It happens. I thought your eye was gone. I'm glad that you addressed it, and it was like, nah, it was just a not a lucky punch, but it was just one of them punches that landed that way.
Yeah. I wouldn't say there is like three fighters I can name you. I think it's just the three accolades. You know what I mean? Like, I've always wanted to do a traditional route. I never won Southern area. I've got English now. I want to do British, European, and obviously move forward from there next. But obviously, I understand that's a tall order. I just want next accolades, and because I think a lot of everyone in the top 15 right now it's a great fight.
It's great.
Everyone in the top 15 right now is a great fight, and whatever fight we can get for these accolades, I'm here for it. I never, you know what I mean? I never say, if as long as it's a good fight, I don't really care.
What about, like, would you fight Brad?
The only way that would happen is if one of us left our coach, and I don't think he's leaving Terry, and I'm not leaving Terry either. So it's a lot would have to happen. That's what I'm saying. A lot would have to happen for that to happen.
So what, he needs to get another 4 defences and then you get rid of it before.
Nah. It just boxing. Like I was saying to him, literally, I was on the phone to him maybe a couple of hours ago, and it just we're talking about what potentially might be happening next, and we just can't really talk about
obviously.
too much. But one win, look at one win, these doors might open. Look at Brad.
Yeah.
One win, he's got like his trajectory is crazy at the minute.
It is.
Like what he's got on his doorstep right now is crazy.
See, and like, although it probably was devastating for him to get that first, well, with the Nahaney fight, we all saw him win, right? We all saw him win. It was a naughty decision.
Yeah.
That,
it was. I think he'd won it.
It wasn't a robbery. It was close.
Yeah, but I actually thought they were gonna just take it away from him and just say he won and not even chase the rematch. But so I was surprised when I saw a draw and I went, I'll take that because that means something can happen again. And then it happened again. You know what I mean? Everyone was so gassed when he done it. Well, we knew we were going to do him anyway. We knew he had his number. Yeah. And it was a really good fight. But some of the best, those two fights, some of the best Brad's ever looked.
Fact. And he's a great fighter. He's up and coming, and like he seems to be getting better and better and better. But obviously, you're from a decent camp. I still don't understand why you guys train like near me.
What do you mean?
I always thought you were like from like Norwich or something.
Norwich?
Yeah, I don't know. I know. It's
do you know how far Norwich is?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know how far? Geographically, do you know how far Norwich is?
So far, but not like I just. I was always surprised to hear you boys were in Epping.
We're like 5 minutes away.
Yeah. Especially Brad. Brad's from Samville. Like,
but he lives up the road. He lives up the road. To be fair, he lives close. I live in by Luton, so I'm not nowhere near as close. Everyone else is closer than me. But no, we used to train in Buckers Hill. Funny enough, I don't know if that's closer or not.
But Buckers Hill is like next door.
Yeah,
Buckers Hill is like 5 minutes
kind
drive.
Is, yeah. We was on Buckers Hill High Street. We used to train at Club KO, and that was fun. That's on the high street though, so you've got all those distractions on your doorstep.
But like, how do you meet Terry? Because you're in Luton.
So when I used to be an amateur, K Prosper, I don't know if he's still, I think he is still fighting now, but he turned pro with Terry, and I was still an amateur, and I was doing like box cup, I was doing England development stuff and things like that, and I wanted to get better sparring and get just better work, just kind of a different perspective as well. Like I just wanted to improve, I wanted to be better. So I followed K a lot up the M1 to see who he was with, and Terry was the man, and me and Terry just got on. Me and Terry got on really, really well. So when like my amateurs came to an end, Terry was like, "Oh, if you ever want to go pro, I'll coach you if you want." And that was it. That's all I needed. But yeah, me and he'd I think maybe 1 or 2 sessions in, I'd learned, no disrespect to like my amateur side, but I'd learned so much because he was teaching me about the pros. Not fencing, he was teaching me about fighting. You know what I mean? Actually getting down and dirty, little tricks here and there, and he upped my game tenfold, So, that's how I met him, and that was it.
That's the difference.
It was timeless, doesn't it?
Like when, my coach, Uncle Larry, like the first session I had with him, fucking 20 years ago, whenever it was, he was teaching me how to punch people in the armpit. And like, you just like, that's, the other ones are doing like, 27 combo pad works with me, and he's just showing me how to punch you right in the armpit because it really hurts. And he's like, and if you bend their elbow this way, they really don't like it. You're like, all right, cheers now. We're good forever.
Like one of the first things he showed me, it weren't dirty, but one of the first things he showed me was when someone's like coming forward at you, you kind of step to the side and like put your arm behind their elbow when they're tucked in. And like kind of use the momentum to move them to the side and then throw your punches off it. So all you do is turn them to the side and throw off it. And I just tiny little things.
Those are the
like
little
that.
things, isn't it? And it just sticks in you. And pause. And then it.
And it's one of them. It's one of them things. It's one of them things where when like I learning little things, I learned so much, and I still learn every day now, every single day, and and I still enjoy it. Man. It's not the closest trip. It's about 45 to an hour for me, but it's not
that bad.
Nah, it's not that bad at all.
You just jump in the whip, put on some bangers, and then away you go.
I'm on the phone most of the time. just on the phone, chatting shit.
Just chatting nonsense.
I've been doing it for like 9 years now. So
one of my favourite things now is obviously you and Den's had the clash. Like you guys work with each other quite a lot now, which is it's great, right? There was never any beef. Like even early doors when we first had you on, when we got you on. It was like, look, really open with it. We're like, Den's our boy, you're our boy as well. Like, completely neutral down the middle. But it's wicked to see you two working together.
At the end of the day, look, and you'll be hard pressed because, you know, we're fighters.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, there's got to be some kind of, I'm telling you now, there's no, you know, not one fighter I've ever fought in my whole career. That's 22 fights as a pro and 40 fights as an amateur. Not one fighter that I have a problem with. There's not one. There was.
Yeah.
But we squashed it. We sorted it out. But
surely after you fight, that's it done,
you know
right?
what I mean? But there's not one fighter that I'd see now and not shake his hand because I had a problem. Like, it's business. Me and Denzel fought. I said, you know what? Yeah, we fought. Got a call. He's fighting, I want to say, Morrison.
Yep.
He was fighting Morrison after me, defending the British title. What's
That's
his
a
coach's
bloodbath,
name
that
again?
one.
I've got his face in my head. What's his coach's name again? I got his Martin.
Martin Bowers.
Yeah.
Martin Bowers.
Yeah, called up, can we get some sparring with Linus? And I said, perfect, because listen, at the end of the day, no matter what you think about the result, no matter what happened, I think it was one of those either side. But I wouldn't have been. Look,
subjective.
It hurt losing it. I never lost before in my life.
Yep.
Everything felt right. Everything coming up to that fight, I did everything right. Nutrition was right. I sacrificed a chunk of my life. I missed a lot of things.
Yep.
I did a lot of things. There was so much pressure. You were going to make history for the town you lived in, your family name, where you're from. There was a lot of things.
Yep.
And I just everything. I did everything. I was mentally everything.
Sharp.
Was
Everything was
fine.
right.
It was fine, and it just didn't pay off.
Yep.
And it hurt a lot. It made me think about a lot of things. I took some time out, spoke to some people, and then, you know, got myself back in. And, you know what I mean? There was... At the end of the day, I lost. Whether I made some decisions in the fight. I looked back, I made some decisions in the fight. I did some things wrong, especially the last round.
Yeah.
I think I could have definitely changed the outcome of the fight if I'd done something different. So at the end of the day, I lost. So it's time to suck it up. There's no pride in this. It's all learning.
Yep.
Go back to where you lost. Go back to that place. This is how they beat you. Go back there and listen, suck it up. You ain't got a problem with him. You ain't got a problem with his camp.
Nope.
You're actually more similar than you think.
Fact.
Go there. You know what I mean? We laughed at it. The first day was a bit weird when I first went back because I'd maybe been out of the ring for maybe like 3 weeks or something. Got back, got to Peacock and see him all. Everyone was just kind of like, it was a bit weird. It was a bit standoffish.
Factional.
Yeah, a little bit. And then I went up to him. He was like, "You right? You good?" And it was a bit weird. It was like, "When you fighting? Oh, when you fighting?" Yeah, it was a bit. Then it was like silence for a bit. It was like, "All right, anyway, I'm gonna get ready." You know what I mean? And we got in the ring. The first round was just silent.
Like awkward.
A little bit. It was a little bit awkward. And and it was just like first round. We got in, and it was just like. Just kind of stood there. No, we just kind of stood there, walking around, waiting for the timer to go, and the timer went, and then you could see the whole gym just kind of everyone just stopped and like, had a look to see what was going to happen, and it was just it was good sparring, really good work, and right after that, everything it was just sweet and sweet ever since. Like it's, you know, what I mean, I got nothing but good things to say about him. He's a lovely guy, man. Yeah, great. Like honestly, I couldn't sing his praises anymore.
Where does like your mindset come from? Because like you said a few things that's pretty. Just solid and interested, but also just very level, right? I mean, obviously we have a lot of fighters on who, you know, fighters are a very interesting blend of quite rightly so sensitive because they're putting so much on the line and how dare you critique them, you can't do it yourself, like that kind of stuff. But then there's also, you're all wild boys. Like every single one of you is a little bit mental and has a little bit of fire in the eyes, etc. But not many will say the same sort of rhetoric that you've just done there, which is like, you know, I took an L, you learn from it, you move on. You seem very at peace with everything that's happened.
Yeah, I think at peace is definitely the phrase I'd use. It maybe took me like 3 weeks. I'd say, look, I'm not I mean no disrespect to anybody when I say like when you first take a loss, and not everyone might understand it, but when you first take a loss, it feels like it feels like a death. Look, and I don't mean that disrespectfully to anybody that I don't mean any disrespect by it, but it feels like a death. You go through stages.
Dude, you lost a fight,
especially for the first time,
a fist fight, for the first time on TV, right? It's completely fine to be devastated by that, because as it should do, like there's a part of you that then changed irreparably at that point, right? Because we're all from that era, the Floyd era of like the Magic Zero,
the Magic Zero,
but it also
Kawasaki,
makes you question. Did it make you question like you?
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing. I'll tell you, like, the stages. Denial.
Yeah.
I don't think I lost. What the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, what's going on? And, obviously, I think different types of losses. I'm just thankful that, like...
It wasn't like a...
none of my losses, none of my losses are highlight reels.
No.
You know what I mean? I can't be memed.
Yeah. Mashallah.
Inshallah. None of my losses are highlight reels. And, it's a hard loss, close loss. And, it hurts. It really hurt. And, you kind of... There was a few stages where I isolated myself a little bit. I took some time. I was mad. I was really angry. And I was just like, what the hell happened? I was angry at boxing. I was angry at officiating. I was angry at this. I thought there was some shady stuff. I was just angry. And, there's certain... I heard a lot of people telling me things that I would want to hear and things like that. And at the end of the day...
What did Terry say?
He was the same as me. He was the same as me. He was angry about it. He didn't think it was a loss on our end, and I had to be the one that kind of spoke to him and turn it around and kind of, it took me some time. I took some time and actually said to myself, you know what, I'm past the angry about it stage, because I'm at the what next now. I'm at this point now. I've been sad. Look, I've done my crying. I've done my what's the word?
Grieving.
I've done my grieving. I've done my, look, it's, you're not undefeated anymore, mate.
No.
You're not undefeated anymore. Wherever you are in the pecking order now is where you are.
Yeah.
Now, what's next? So let's look at...
How much did you... How much... whenever something terrible has happened, you always coulda, woulda, shoulda, right?
Yeah.
You always have that. But you also have that you kind of... You've catastrophized, you come back to it, and then you kind of glorify what it should have been. At what point... Did you at any point be like, I've watched this 10 times. How many times you watched it? Or whatever. And just been like, I still don't think I've lost. A draw? Fine. Right? I don't think he's won, but a draw is what it should have been. And then did you go through that stage where you're just like, I didn't really lose, it was a draw?
No. I kind of like, there's a few stages where I was more of a stage of like, okay, yeah, you know what, when I got to the acceptance stage and I was like, look, it's time to just get back on it, mate. What are you going to do? Sit here. Is this where your career is going to be?
Yeah.
Like, you could have won a British. You nearly did. It was close. And that's it.
Yeah.
Is that where you are?
Razor thin.
Let's get out of it. Let's have a look, because you have to go back. You have to have a look, and you have to watch it unbiasedly. You have to watch it like you're not the one fighting in there. So let's have a look at it. Okay, cool. I get it. I get why. I get how they could have given it for me, because one judge did. Yep. I get how they gave it for him. I get how it could have been a draw. It was close. It is what it is. Let's start watching it in a different light now. Let's start. What'd you do wrong? What'd you do wrong? Okay, there was times, you know what I mean? He's a very, very good fighter. Let's take this away from me. He's a very good fighter. Yeah. He picked his moments to work. He picked, you know what I mean? I feel like I started really fast. He started really slow. And I took advantage of it up until a certain point where the fight equalized a little bit. And he would really do clever things. Yep. He'd do very clever things. And it taught me, like, how these championship fights...
Yep.
How the flow goes, you know what I mean? He's been there.
Yep.
He's a very good fighter. He's been there, and I would still take. He's one of the hardest. He was one of the hardest hitting middleweights in division. Still,
I mean, like, look, you and I can both, celebrate our mate Dens, but like, realistically, I'm sure the Jennebeck lot didn't really take him as seriously as they should have done. But who has done that with Beck? Who has looked like that with Beck? Like, we've just seen someone, quote unquote, on a higher level, an IBF mandatory, right? I know Dens was close to that. Was he mandatory?
I think it was a voluntary.
I think it was a voluntary as well. It was a voluntary. But we've just seen an IBF mandatory get absolutely laughed by Jennebeck, right? And Jennebeck that couldn't make weight. That was having real problems with it all, because you know, it is what it is. But Denz gave him all he could handle.
Yeah.
His corner, like, there's a lot of crossover between, like, the Better Behave lot, and they're all the rival crew.
Yeah.
You know Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's all of them lot. Like,
Yeah.
they're really open about, like, he's a boy.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, he's a great fighter.
Yeah, and you know, I looked at it. I studied so many things. I saw what I did wrong. I saw where they could have been scoring for him. I saw times where I'd kind of, you know, let's say for argument's sake, I worked for 2 minutes, 30 seconds in a round, and then kind of took it off.
Yep.
And then, you know, he does what he does.
Yep.
And then the judges, the last thing they see is him pushing me back. Do you know what I mean? Him working harder than me. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. I'm not taking anything away from Denz, you know that. But yeah, I learned a lot that night. I learned a lot throughout the whole coming weeks. And
see, but that's my point. See, you seem so astute. You are a student, but not just a student of the sport, but of yourself. That's the thing that I find one of the more interesting. Well, lots of things interesting about you, my boy. But like that is very interesting.
Yeah, and like just not just in the ring, not just what we had to do. I've learned that, you know, I mean, you know, we have to. I've always had the safety first approach of how I fought, and you know, now I roll the dice a lot. Yeah. I roll the dice a lot. I roll the dice in everything I do, because you know sometimes like Brad always says, one win opens a lot of
changes
doors.
everything.
You know what I mean? And just not even just in the ring, outside as well. You know, like it changed my perspective on so many things. I changed a lot of things. I you know, a lot of people left my life. A lot of people entered it as well. Yeah. Like, you know, I added certain things to my training. I added certain things. I kind of took control of myself a little bit more. A lot of people.
Me anything about training, because I can probably answer some. I mean, I'm fucking hinge.
So with like management training and things like that, I got hands on with it a little bit more. You know, I had some difficult conversations because I think, and I'm gonna say this because, and I won't really, I'm gonna say this because at the end of the day, it's my career.
Yeah.
No matter who's managing me, no matter who's training me, I'm in charge at the end of the day.
Fact.
So if I don't want to do something,
you're the boss of Linus Inc.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So if I want to do something or don't want to do something, either both will happen. You know. So yeah, and like we had a lot of conversations because after that fight, I will put my hands up. I knew my stock was high because it was a good fight. However, I lost it.
Yeah.
So yeah, your stock's high, but not like you won it. So certain offers came in.
Yeah.
I said no.
Yep.
And in hindsight, I should have said yes. I should have taken it. I had an opportunity to fight Liam Williams right after. I should have taken it. The money wasn't great. I should have taken it. It would have been a really good fight. I should have taken it. I'm going to say it, I had an opportunity to fight Hamzah Sheeraz. I should have taken it, but we just...
Pause on that, because that's producer. Right, so you was offered Hamzah.
Yeah, no, I got offered a few fights, and I just kind of like, and I'll say, I blame no one. I blame no one. I was, the word I'm looking for is naive to the fact that I thought I knew my stock was high.
Yep.
But I outpriced myself because I thought I was. Do you know what I mean? I was better than that. But I'm not the one that won the fight at the end of the day.
Did you have that? I've just done 1.1 million views.
Yeah, but it was the performance. It was the performance. I was kind of like, I think it was a good performance, and I think it's worth more than that. But the bigger picture of this is, okay, it's. Do you know what I mean? Like it's still a good fight. I think either of those fights, I was offered those fights and I turned them down, and I feel I don't regret it, but I think it wasn't the right decision to do at the time. I feel like I did something wrong, which was turning those fights down, and you know, this is where I kind of turned around and, you know, I didn't get any offers and kind of waited for, you know, good offers and better offers, and kind of really, in my opinion, wasted a long time. I wasted like 6 months. Yeah. After that, instead of keeping the momentum going, and just getting back in another fight, getting straight back into it. Yeah. I'll tell you this, Brad, when he lost to Tyler Denny, the first thing he did, I think 6 weeks later, he fought again. Yeah. And that's exactly what I should have done. Yeah. And I blame nobody but myself. I think I made the wrong decision there, and I wasted a lot of time, but I got back into it. And in hindsight now, I wouldn't.
He grabbed any fight, didn't he? Because I remember vividly having the conversation, I think, with Jesse, and it was like he was like a big Sky name, and then the next fight was on like a small,
in like Plymouth or something.
Yeah, it was like a local show,
It is
and it
what
was
it
just
is,
like he just
yeah.
wanted the fight.
Yeah, so I feel like I did the wrong thing, which was waiting and overcooking kind of the situation and kind of missing a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Because of myself, because I think I was naive to kind of how boxing worked at times, and I learned a lot from that. Came back, finally fought, and there was still no opportunities there, so I kind of had to have a back at your call,
Fact.
come back, fought Robbie Chapman, good fight, came back in, got offered Kieran Conway. There was a few pullouts, that fight didn't happen for another like few months. Finally had the fight. It didn't go how we wanted it. I think the fight was going really well.
I thought it was going well.
I think it was heating up. I think it was going really well. One of the judges had it like 4-1 to me. One had like 4-1 to him, and then one had like a draw card at the time of the stoppage.
Yeah,
and
I think we had it. I think we had it 4-1 because I remember that Kieran was aggressive, and he looked fucking massive on the night. But you were kind of matadoring him. There wasn't.
Look, obviously, until the left hook, nothing really.
There was
nothing
no
really
trouble.
happened. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, we were comfortable.
But even the left hook, it was one of those shots that landed and just instantly your body reacted.
Yeah, I moved round.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I could feel my cheek just getting tighter.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I felt my cheek getting tighter. I was thinking, what's going on here? And then, that was it. I sat down, looked at Terry, and he was like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then,
don't worry about it.
But I thought after he'd started doing his work, it would have, I could be able to see. And literally, as soon as I stand up, I went to open, then I went, you know what? In my head, if this round happens, you're about to see a wild Linus Udofia. Because I don't think I'll have another. If they let me fight this round, I don't think I'll have another chance because you surely ain't going to get better.
No.
Surely it's not.
Definitely not getting better.
So, and in my head, I got up and I looked at him, he was like, we got to get to work. And I looked at him, I went, let's go. And then the ref pulled me to the side and I tried blagging it. That was actually a really funny moment. He laughed. We was in the corner and the ref was like, can you see out of that eye? I went, yeah, no problem. And he goes, he was like, I said to him, I can see you're wearing a bow tie. You're wearing a black bow tie. And he kind of chuckled and he goes, you can't. How many fingers am I holding up? And I said, I guessed it correctly. I guessed. 100% guessed. I think it was like 3 or something. And guessed it correctly. And he went, you can't see me, can you? I was like, yeah, of course I can. I was like, please don't stop. I whispered to him, I was like, please don't stop. Just give me this round. And he looked at me and he went, I can't. I can't. And I was just like, look, I went, you know what, at the end of the day, it's
your safety though, right?
It felt so quick, and I wasn't mad at the ref. I wasn't mad at anybody. I was, if anything, just mad at my face.
Yeah,
but a lot of people. Nothing negative came from that because you know what I mean. If I'm honest with you, it was like one of those where I was like, it was shit. Jumped in the car. Got an ice pack on my face, went back to the hotel, got an ice pack on my face, spoke to a doctor. The doctor was like, I don't know what's happened here. It looked like we thought it was broken.
This is what I'm saying.
Touched my face, no pain.
Yeah.
I remember when it happened, as soon as Terry touched me, I could feel him touching it. So I was like, oh, there's no pain.
Yeah, everything visibly looked like a broken orbital, didn't it?
It looked horrendous. And I didn't realise until he'd waved it, and then I looked up at the screen, and I went,
I remember you doing it. Yeah.
Oh, I looked up, I went, that's bad, isn't it? I was like, that's really bad. And then I went to the doctors and they were like, yeah, no, it was, mate,
it's fine.
It looked fine. Like, I think, no, you were fine. Like, you literally will give you a 28-day thing to go. But honestly, unless you don't get your vision back,
we're good. This is literally a very aggressive, swollen eye.
Yeah, that's literally it. It's almost, they said their words were, it's almost like you've had an allergic reaction. And I was like, that's a bit shit, but whatever. Cool. Anyway.
Maybe you're allergic to Kieran.
Maybe. Keep me away from him. Yeah. Keep me away from him. Anyway, I jumped in the car, went back to the hotel, got an ice pack on my face, and I went, I'm not staying in Sheffield tonight. I'm going home. I was meant to be on a plane, like, literally, not that morning, but the next day.
Right.
So Saturday at 4, and I was meant to be on a plane Monday morning. So literally, we got back, got ice on my face, went to bed, literally woke up at like 5 a.m.
I wanted to talk to you about the mental side of things for you. Because I'm a day walker of mental health as well, right? It's so important. It is literally everything, right? If you are not constantly reaffirming yourself, if you're not believing in yourself, if you're not just trying to remain positive, it will get you, especially for your job, when, you know, your job is essentially taking blows to the head.
Yeah.
Ideally not,
Yeah.
but it is there. That doesn't help. As well as, like you're saying, you're a very public person. You speak very well. I can see how people can love and not like you depending on which side of the coin they're on, or boxing is factional. People adhere to a certain person. Very few people remain neutral and just be like, he's a cool guy, he's a a bit of a dick, but whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, again, much like the learning, you seem to be very shamanic with your own mental health. You seem to be very strong at protecting it. You also seem to have a very good perspective about what makes you and keeps you that way.
Protecting it is another great phrase as well, because in this sport, you it's self-expression. Yep. A lot of it is self-expression. How Denzel fights, how Conway fights, how like Tuma, how they all fight. They're all expressing themselves.
Yeah.
How I fight, we're all expressing ourselves, and sometimes that can be challenged. Sometimes that can be challenged in the public eye. Promoters can challenge, like anyone can challenge you on it, and if you're not strong mentally, it could really put you in a downward spiral and completely change how you move forward in your career, in how you fight and everything. But yeah, it's at the end of the day.
But have you always been like that?
What do you mean?
Have you always been like your mindset? It's either something that's been learned along the way, that you've taken a few knocks where you just thought, fuck, that shouldn't have happened to me, and you've had to become it.
Yeah.
Or it's there are certain people in life that are they're just always that way.
I remember a long time ago. What do you call it? Like, I've not always been like this. I've had to. I mean, when I first started this, I was a kid. We're all the same. We all have our debut, and we all think we're going to get to the top. We all think we're never going to lose. Yeah. We all think everything's going to go well. We all think until it's not. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you got to go on the fly. I think mentality-wise, I think it's definitely very, very, very wise to get like a kind of mental health coach or mentality coach.
We've had yours on.
No, Lee Johnson.
Yeah,
great,
shout out Lee.
Big shout out to him. And yeah, I think it's very instrumental to kind of have that mental health side of it as in tune with your career as the actual training and nutrition aspect as well. I think actually in some aspects is actually more important. But I've had to learn. I got to get my knocks on the way. Like when
what was the point where you had to? What was the? Do you remember the moment where you just like, I need to get on top of this. This is causing me issues.
When I fought Tyler Denny. Yeah. And coming up to that fight, one of my mates growing up passed away. Right. He topped himself, and
that's hard.
Yeah, no, it weren't easy. It was weird. It was a weird time, and it's crazy what your natural reaction is. So obviously it was horrible. It's horrible. You're going through the stages, but I'm still fighting. I've still got the most important fight of my life right in front of me. Yeah. So I have to kind of ignore it, go on autopilot with that, finish the fight, and I didn't realize how much it actually takes out of you until you're in the ring. And look, I'm no disrespect to Tyler at the time, but I should have beaten him a lot easier, more convincingly than I actually did. And I think a lot of aspects I didn't really address that what was going on in on the side. I had a lot of things going on and things like that, but I never addressed it. And then after I got someone in to help unpack all of that and kind of make me a lot more stable mentally.
And that was Lee.
It wasn't Lee. It was just a general like therapist I started speaking because there was a lot of things going on outside of the ring that let's say Lee couldn't have. Look, I don't know if he does that, but I know he does sport-wise. But I got help elsewhere, and then when it came to like fighting as well, Lee came around maybe a few months after that, and then I started using him. Nice.
I mean, but like from that perspective, like you did the right thing.
Yeah,
and it will only ever yield good event because it's one of them things. Like I know people bang on about men's mental health and all this other nonsense, right? It is a thing. It is a thing, and it is something that never really. Well, it doesn't get as much as it should, and especially for like you guys, the pros, the pressure is immense. Like I've never really, I know you're a football fan. I'm not a football fan, right? For me, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I'm just not that guy, right?
I didn't say anything.
You gave me the look.
I
You
didn't
gave me a little look.
I mean, you
Right.
just tell me you like dressing up on a weekend.
I do. Sometimes I
tell me.
put a scarf around my head and I dance in front of the mirror so I can feel like the real me.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
On the weekend, you're robbing. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, with a Y.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Robin with the Y. And that's okay. Listen, football is just not, I just like consequence.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You like consequence?
I like consequence in my sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen. You should have run. I don't know why we're here.
I don't know.
I don't know how we got here.
I don't know how we got here either. Shoo.
Yes. Hey, listen.
Should we just sit in awkward silence?
I mean,
Awkward
better
silence.
than you saying you don't like football, but yeah.
I mean, like, it's just what it is. Like, he's not really much of a football fan. Sam's a massive Liverpool fan when he gets here. Eventually, if he ever gets here.
Just as bad as not liking football, to be fair.
Yeah.
But anyway,
as I was saying, yeah, I don't even know because we've distracted me with football chat now. I've just shut down.
You brought it up.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
No, there's no pause button in this one, Jude. Right. Anyway, so from the mental health side of things, right? You've had that. You've moved on. You've now gone with Lee, and you now seem very, like I've said, very in tune. I don't want to say with the feelings, but with your mental state, right?
Yeah.
And
even emotional state as well. It helps
emotional
you,
state's huge.
It helps you. It helps you. I read this book that actually helped, and Lee suggested it. That King, Warrior, Magician, and Lover. Yeah, it really helps.
That's the Ninja Turtles, though, isn't it? No, that's what they are. That's what the four of them are. The four archetypes.
I don't know, but yeah, it helps emotionally because you can't, to be a warrior, you have to be a warrior and a king in the gym and in boxing and just going through your day-to-day life as a professional boxer. You have to, or professional athlete in especially in the fighting one, you have to, be these people, and then you have to be a magician. You have to make people believe that. And that's how you get them to come watch your fight, because you have to make them believe that you are going to be this person. You have to make yourself it. You have to make everyone around you believe it. And you have to be a lover for your kids and your wife at home and things like that. You can't be a warrior and a king. Well, you can be a king at home, but you can't be a warrior around your kids. You can't be a warrior around your wife, your mum and things like that. So you have to be able to turn it on and off in different places. So it does actually help emotionally in your feelings.
I love that.
Massively.
I love that. I'm going to call that there. Linus, you are an absolute animal, and I love you dearly. Thank you for coming in. English champ, when are we seeing you out again?
I'd like December, but we'll see.
What how likely? You're cool?
30%.
You're cool?
30%. I don't know where it is, but it's 30% chance of me fighting in December.
Okay. Well, thank you again.
Big dog.